So about a month ago, I sheared this boxwood for the first time, and I thought it'd be cool to check it out. It's been a month and 3 days. Okay, so first of all, it did pretty much maintain its shape. When you look closer, it's like still the ball, but then there's all this new growth here because I did cut it during its growth spurt. I think it looks pretty good for a first time. This is pretty much the angle that I look at it from. So the main shape is pretty much there. This was kind of empty to begin with. I might have cut off a little too much. You can see more is growing in there from the bottom, so I'm sure that will fill in this space eventually. And then another interesting to see is if you look up close where the leaves were cut, they browned a little bit here and here. The new growth is this pretty lighter green, whereas the older growth is darker. I think these yellow tips are from when we had like harder freezes after it was cut, or maybe through the winter. Here's an example of what it looks like when you shear the stem and the leaf in the same spot. Here's another example. It's just a straight cut across and it leaves the stem long. Whereas this is how I kind of tried to go through later after I sheared it and cut the stem. So the stem was shorter, but the leaves were left longer or intact. This right here is new growth and that's old growth. So it started growing from this spot right here. It's interesting because there are little tiny leaves growing from the spot where it transitions from new to old. And I'm not 100% sure if that's where I cut, but it could be because it kind of, the new growth aligns with the ball shape. Here's a leaf that kind of got cut, or that got cut but didn't come off. It's funny how it turned half brown. So I think what I'm going to do is just cut off basically the new growth and get it back into the ball shape. Oh yeah, and I wanted to show you what the leaves that I cut last month still look like. I didn't pick them up. I picked up some, but they stayed green for a very long time, and I know now why people lay out sheets and things. They don't brown like other leaves do. They don't do this. Well, they probably would eventually, but in the meantime, they just leave kind of a bright mess that is clearly boxwood cuttings. It's already looking a little better. I think I cut 6 things. I think that's all I'm willing to cut. It looks pretty good. Still haven't done that one though. Yeah, that's a ball if I ever saw one.